Okay, so we'll start from basics. So what is imaging? So it lets us visualize part of the human anatomy in a way that we can't see it with the human eye by itself. So these are images you're probably familiar with. So we've got X-ray, ultrasound, MRI. So that's kind of the background of imaging. So then how do we use imaging in the eye? Again, you might be familiar with some of these images. You have them done at your opticians or by us when you've seen us in clinic. So this is the back of your eye and all the layers at the back of the eye. But then how can these images help us with anterior uveitis? So at the moment, the best way to monitor anterior uveitis is by seeing how many cells, so these are the blood cells that have leaked out in inflammation, and how many of those cells are in this anterior chamber, which is this front section in front of the lens there on that picture. And I always describe it, if you look to the side of the person next to you, you'll see I've got a bit of a clear dome at the front of the eye that kind of sticks out. And that's the bit we're looking at. So this is how it looks to us when we use our slit lamp. And you're probably used to this. You put your chin on the rest and we shine bright lights in your eyes. And this is where we're seeing those cells leaking. So normally there should be nothing in that bit of light. You can see all these little white dots. I think I've got a bigger picture here. So all those little white dots, they shouldn't be there. And that's what helped us kind of to detect and monitor anterior uveitis at the moment. So it was a bit subjective. People were just looking and marking it down. So in 2005, some experts tried to standardize this kind of globally so we could all record it in the same way. And we call them the SUN working group. And they came up with this grading system. So they count how many of these white dots you can see in a 1 millimeter beam of light. And then you give it a grade from this table here. But again, it was a bit subjective. It was relying on humans to count accurately in this tiny little beam of light. So we found that agreeing within 2 grades, experts were quite good. So they could say, yes, it's a grade 3 or a grade 4. Okay, we agree on that. But to get them to agree on the same grade, so yes, we all agree it's grade 3, let's say, wasn't very good. It was only about a 60 to 70% chance that they actually agreed on this grade. So we thought, is there a better way that we can measure these cells in anterior uveitis? So then that leads us to the anterior segment OCT. So you've seen the OCT images at the start for the back of the eye, but this is using it for the front of the eye. And these are the images that they produce. I might have shown some of you when I've scanned you in clinic. So it's new, but we're thinking it could be useful. So we have lots of questions that need answering about this new form of imaging. So first of all, we needed your help and we had to ask, is it feasible? So could we actually see the cells using this image? And this picture here shows, yes, we can. So you can see all these little white dots are those leaked cells that have happened in the inflammation. Okay, so the next question was, could we get useful images even from very young children? And the answer to that was yes, but we needed a few tweaks, as you can see here. So it took us a bit of time to work out how we could use the scans and not take that long to get them. So obviously we're not going to get a very young child to sit at a scan for 20 minutes. But for maybe 2 minutes, we've got a better chance of getting a good image. Okay, the next question was, could we get useful images across different machines? So you can see here, there's slightly different images produced, but yeah, we thought they were all showing us what we needed to find. Okay, next question. Was the scan repeatable? So if we repeated it twice, just a few minutes apart on the same eye, would it give us the same findings? So our answer was yes-ish, because we found 1 or 2 scans, it was 88% chance of the same results. But if we took lots and lots of scans, which is what those arrows are showing, then actually, yes, it was very repeatable, more than 99%. Okay, next question was it accurate? So does it agree with an expert, which is the method I spoke about at the start when you're sat with your chin on the chin rest and we're looking in the light, grading all those cells. So our answer to that one was yes, with a bit of an ish again. So we found that if the expert saw cells, the scan agreed with that 99%, so pretty high. But we also found that if the expert didn't pick up any cells at all, the scan actually still picked up cells. So it's telling us maybe the scan is more sensitive, more accurate than an expert, possibly. The next question was, is it responsive? So does the scan show, so if the expert thinks that your condition is improving, does the scan also show that? And we found again, yes, but with a bit of an ish. And this is one of the graphs we found from some of the results showing that there was a correlation between the experts and the scan in the improvement of the condition. So then we found, well, we shared some of our findings in 2 published papers. So this is sharing all this information with other clinicians and hopefully helping them to detect anterior uveitis using the way that we've found here. So these are 2 examples of our papers. And then we also asked other children to help us out. And so we used 258 children aged between 5 and 15 years old at the school, very kindly sat and had scans for us. And from that, we found that we could possibly pick up an occasional cell in an average child without anterior uveitis. So now we need to work out, why that is, what's that telling us? So we've got a bit more work to do, and we need to answer these questions. So how many scans from the same eye are needed? How do different machines compare in finding the cells? Can the scans be as good or even better than the experts, in particular at screening in JIA, in deciding if they are responding to treatment and even when to reduce or stop treatment? So we could use these images to tell us all this information. And then can the scans pick up different types of uveitis as well? So lots more work to do. And you've already helped a lot, but we're hoping you can help us answer more of these questions. And hopefully then we can monitor anterior uveitis in and outside of hospital using these images. Another way we're getting people to help is, oh, I've gone a bit quick, is Zooniverse. So it's an online research platform which gets volunteers to help identify the anterior segment and then also to manually count these cells. So if you've got some spare time, you can also help us out with this as well. And that is it. Okay, any questions? Please feel free.
So we had one question on intermediate uveitis, on whether or not imaging was helping there, and it really is. So there's a team in Birmingham that are working on OCT at the back of the eye and using that to grade, say how severe intermediate uveitis is. And they're about 2 years ahead of us. So their findings are going to start being used in practice over the next few years. And another question, well, actually, comment was about the Zooniverse project and how to help in that way, because we are generating so many images from Zooniverse. It's quite time consuming to analyze them all. And we need to analyze them all in order to make sure that an AI, artificial intelligence, can analyze them for us in future. So we are just going to show you the Eyes on Eyes project on, there we go. So this is the Eyes on Eyes, and you can, there's a little tutorial here that takes you through how to do the different things. I'll just skip that. So it shows what is uveitis, imaging uveitis. There's Katie there, imaging a child, acquiring scans, judging quality, telling good from bad. I'm just going to share this with everyone online because I think you can't see that. There we go, just showing you the Zooniverse website now. So what is uveitis, imaging in uveitis, acquiring scans, Katie's just been talking to you, how to judge good from bad. So as I said, the AI is really good at picking up the white blood cells, but it's not very good at telling us when a scan, it's not as good as a human. You as a human pick up, that's not right, quite quickly. But actually training an AI to pick up that that's not right is quite hard and quite challenging. You have to have lots of examples of not rightness. And that's where the humans are really helping us. Because you can imagine if we're saying we have to get, maybe the ideal number is 30 scans from one eye, you get them all with one press of a button. You can't have a 5-year-old sit there and press 60 times. So within that 60, there'll be a few scans that are poor quality, and the AI is going to have to learn to take them out of the equation. So this really is what you're helping us with, labeling scans as good quality or bad quality. And any time you spend, it's great. The reason we're doing this is because that equipment, those OCT machines, are sitting in Specsavers, in Boots Opticians, on the high street right now, taking pictures of the back of the eye, but they are capable of taking pictures in the front of the eye. And it'd be absolutely incredible if you could go to your local eye care centre, your local opticians, to get a scan sent that's sent to us or read by an cloud-based AI that gives an output of what's going on in that eye, so you can make sure you don't have to travel hundreds of miles. Sometimes some patients travel to see us, travel such a long distance, and interrupting school and interrupting work, of course, because when one child has to come to Uveitis clinic, that's a whole family affected by that, we know. Please also let your friends and families know about the study as well, about Zooniverse. But many people on the call, many people in the audience have already helped us so much. Thank you.